Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 4 of the To The T podcast. My name is Jordan Michael Colson, joined of course by John Brown and Bryce Voisin of Great Life Golf and Golf Back fame. Gentlemen, welcome back to your program.
Great to be here, Jordan. We're a little bit late on this 4th episode, but looking forward to getting it out there.
With that said, being on the road, John, what are the movers and shakers in the golf industry talking about? You've been on the road lately. What are you seeing out there? And then Bryce, catch us up with what you're doing.
Rounds are staying relatively steady, maybe dipping just a little bit off their high overall, but it still seems like we still have the pricing control in the marketplace. I think it continues to be an important business strategy to know your customers and build that direct relationship long-term with your customers. And excited about our recent purchases of Sapona Golf and Tennis Club and Country Club of Mount Dora. One's in North Carolina, one's in Florida. So portfolio is growing and just, continue to put one foot in front of the other and enjoying what I do every day, Jordan.
And Bryce, how about yourself? I know you're busy with the Grow platform. We're going to get to that in a little bit of depth today. Last time I saw you at length, you were at Country Club of Mount Dora. You were really making things happen. So what's it been like for you the past couple weeks?
Yeah, there's a lot going on with both Great Life and Golf Back. It's a busy time of year. It always is, as the golf season starts to roll around for the clubs in the north. So getting them going for the season on Golf Back, and we just had a point of sale change in Kansas City market as well for Great Life. So that's been a project and a big change. And so really those two things, along with Grow, have taken up most of my time.
Well, transitioning into the Tee-Up segment, this is where we talk about news and notes from around the golf industry, more from a casual perspective. And gentlemen, as I'm doing some research for the show, I'm coming across the LIV Individual Championship, which just announced that it will take place at Bolingbrook Golf Club just outside of Chicago. And I'm wondering, does the casual golf fan, does the casual observer, are they even aware that Taylor Gooch won the individual championship for the LIV last year? Are they cognizant of the fact that LIV has an individual accolade? Is this something that has any buzz to it? Is it a major accomplishment in the industry?
I would say the casual golf fan probably recognizes the names before the accomplishments. The fact that DJ's there, John Rahm, Cam Smith, guys like that, Bryson DeChambeau. I would say they think more about the names and maybe don't follow as closely to the actual results. Taylor Gooch won last year. This year, Neiman is leading the points list. And those are, younger guys that were just coming into form on the PGA Tour, when they made the change. So I would say just the casual golf fan probably isn't necessarily looking at the results that closely.
Yeah, and I think I just have to be honest with myself. I'm kind of an American golf curmudgeon at this point, and I don't want to be, but I am. Those LIV events that are happening in Australia and, halfway across the world that are ending at 3 in the morning, we're losing any connectivity to those events. So I'm kind of looking forward to LIV coming back here on American soil. So, frankly, just the watchable times are in line with when we watch sports over here. But, you can't deny the talent. You can't deny, the fact that these players compete in majors. They're some of the best players in the world. I know we're going to talk about Scotty and some of his achievements. There's an element out there where there is a talented pool of golfers that aren't playing PGA Tour events, right? Which may create a vacuum for a player like Scotty to achieve the results he's achieved at a higher level, right? So there's so many interesting dynamics to it. Ultimately, I'd like to see, the PGA Tour and LIV come together to some degree. PGA Tour LIV Ryder Cup, we've talked about that. I'd love to see that. Probably not happening, but I will pay attention. I'm looking forward to it getting back here sort of in our time zone so that I can watch a little bit more regularly. And I think if you could put a LIV event on that's got drama and you could put a PGA Tour event on that's got drama and you got 2 TVs, it's not a bad watch on a Sunday.
Yeah, completely agree.
So from a business perspective, John, starting with you, should the LIV position itself as the alternative to the PGA Tour, or should they try to emulate some of the traditional conventions that the PGA Tour has done so well? Would it be better, more advantageous from a business perspective for them to just go entirely away, almost be like the Radical League, or to try to be some sort of conglomerate of both, traditional and new age?
Great questions. Way above my pay grade, probably, to figure that out. I thought the team component would be a little bit more dynamic and drama-based. I kind of feel like it lacks. I only pay really attention to the individual side. if I ever turn a live golf event on. So I feel like that maybe that team environment quite hasn't taken off. But I think that's a format issue. I think the format of everybody playing at the same time and ending at the same time sort of rids the ability to build drama, right? And if there was a way that live could, structure their tee times on their last day, similar to the PGA Tour, where you could build drama. Now, how do you do that from an individual perspective and a team perspective? Not quite sure. The idea that live goes to 72 holes, like, I don't need 72 holes, me personally, but I think the live golfers need world ranking points. So if that's the path to world ranking points, then you got to do it, because it makes no sense for Taylor Gooch not to be in the Masters this year. It doesn't make any sense, right?
Yep.
So, you want the best players in the majors. So Liv's got to figure out how to build a format where they can get world ranking points. I don't think it's the ulterior, and I also don't think it's the competitor. It's kind of like this abstract, very talented golf league, which is what it is. It's very unique.
Yep. Yeah, I think, as a serious golf fan, I would consider myself a serious golf fan. Because of that, I want it to be serious, and I want it to be like the PGA Tour and have that, that feel of eliteness and legacy and all those things. I think the reality is they're trying to be both, which is probably pretty difficult. One thing I did pick up on last week is I had a small wager on the tournament. And since it's only 3 days, I found myself a lot more engaged on the first day than I normally would be on a 4-day.
So you were up at 4 a.m. watching the event?
I wasn't, but I was looking after round one and going, dang, he shot +2. He's out of it. I'm screwed because there's only 2 rounds left as opposed to 3.
Was it a bet on Anthony Kim over under 76?
No, I haven't stooped that low yet, but, you never know.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I was on Instagram and I saw a live posting, a reel that they had posted that looks basically just like a music festival. And there's strobe lights and there's house music and there's people drinking, and they're not doing anything illegal per se, but it's wild and it barely promotes golf at all on the surface. So do things like that make you say that's a bold new direction our industry is eventually going to go down, or does that make Ben Hogan roll over his grave?
Jordan, you didn't have Ian Poulter drinking a beer out of a shoe on your bingo card?
No, that's true. That's a time-honored tradition.
Okay.
I kind of think it's interesting. I don't, Ben Hogan rolling over in his grave. I don't know. Maybe Bobby Jones rolling over in his grave. Maybe, but it's interesting. I wouldn't want to see that on the PGA Tour. I think the PGA Tour is a cut above that from a quality and professionalism standpoint, but I still like the fun environment too. There's probably a place for both.
Yeah, I think there is. When I was watching the highlights of the tournament last week, I found myself being like, dang, I wish I would have been able to see that, because obviously it was in Australia and the Australian team won in a playoff. I think it was a playoff over the South African team. And I don't know, it looked like a really cool atmosphere. But, the fact that it was in Australia, I wasn't staying up till 3 a.m. to watch it, like you said.
I mean, Jordan, we're going to see this firsthand. We're going to go down in August to the Greenbrier event, and I'm really anxious to see what it feels like on the grounds. Obviously, we've both been to multiple PGA Tour events. It'll be interesting to see what the feel is as a fan on the ground, and, with that number of players and sort of that structure, I'm really anxious to see what that feels like.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I've been to one live event in Orlando. It was decently attended, and it was definitely a different environment than a PGA Tour event. I found, there are definitely some pros and cons to it, but I think going to another one at the Greenbrier where they've held PGA Tour events in the past, I think that'll be interesting.
All right, well, we'd be remiss not to mention Scottie Scheffler after all of his recent triumphs. Of course, coming off a victory at the Masters. Guys, is it time to acknowledge Scottie Scheffler as the second coming of something very, very special and generational as far as his talent and his accolades?
The run that he's been on, I mean, it's second only to Tiger probably, in his prime. So, yeah, I mean, it's incredibly impressive. I think we definitely should be having the conversation of, is this a Tiger-like run? I do think it's the best run since Tiger. So I think it's exciting for golf that we are having these conversations.
I mean, obviously, he's the best player in the world right now. He won Bay Hill, the Players, the Masters, and Harbour Town, and finished second at Houston. That's a career, a great career for someone, and he did that in a few weeks, right? So, obviously, a generational ball striker. Putting up ball striking stats like we've never seen, since Tiger. Everyone always gets compared to Tiger, and I get so worn out by social media and being like, Scotty has to be number one for 500 more weeks to even get close to like, just give that a rest, right? Like, let's appreciate the ability he has. But let's be realistic too. Like, this Live League has created, 48, well, call it 30 of the best players in the world are over there playing on Live. They're not in these events. It does make the ability for someone to go on a run like this slightly easier, but it doesn't discount his ability to do it, which nobody else can do it, right? Scotty seems like the greatest guy in the world, and I feel bad for saying this, but I just wish there was a little bit more like, I don't know, Tiger had such a fierceness to him. Scotty's like, he's just a little bit too nice. I don't know how to say it, right? Like, I wish he was a little bit more boisterous, but if that's the worst you're going to say about somebody, that's really not too bad. So he's incredible.
Yep, he really is. Seems like a true class act, but as a golf fan or as a viewer, I'm with you. I don't ever advocate for throwing a club, but I kind of would like to see him toss one every now and then.
Yeah. Like, I'd like my son to act like him one day, but my golf superstar maybe chuck the wedge. Although he did, in Harbour Town, he had one bunker shot he wasn't too happy with. It was nice to see him get a little riled up.
I'm surprised he doesn't throw his putter more often. He's going to throw a club.
That guy misses 3-footers and moves on like nobody, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the main course. We're going to talk about some golf industry technology, get a little bit into the weeds here, and some more internal things. Bryce, we'll come to you in a moment, but before we do, we're looking at the scenic, the picturesque, and the wonderful TrackMan. John, what do you and your business partners call this? The best employee retention tool of all time?
Something of that nature? The best employee retention tool of all time. Yes, that's what we call it.
Before we dive into the new segment that you're bringing to the table here, talk a little bit about the TrackMan. Easy to use, functional, works really well. It's a blast. It really is.
It's precise, which is what I like about the tool. It does a great job of encapsulating the points in your swing, but it's also a lot of fun to play. We've enjoyed it here in the office. Inside Great Life, we have moved to a business strategy of installing TrackMans. Have done our first two with build-outs that include bars and social areas, but obviously the TrackMan as well. And it's another supplemental opportunity for revenue for golf courses and golf course owners, especially in climates where maybe the weather is not ideal during some parts of the year. But we really enjoy it, like it. We're supportive of it. And the one thing I've noticed, with TrackMan is, I never see a top 5 list. I never see like the 5 courses you should play on TrackMan. So I thought we'd have a little fun here and we'd go through our top 5 list today, Jordan.
Maybe it's to dispel a myth, but I mean, from someone who is a casual golfer, this makes me want to play, green grass golf, outdoor golf, traditional golf even more. It makes me feel more comfortable. I can kind of practice in a setting where I don't feel like I'm being looked at, even though I know everybody's just worried about their own swing. They're not really caring about what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But is there any theory out there to a golf course owner that might say, well, if I get this, they're not going to play my course as much? I would argue that it's the opposite of that.
Yeah, we have 26 million green grass golfers, right? We have about 15 million golfers playing off-course golf. So you think about Topgolf, think about simulators, think about other opportunities for golf. There is zero reason to be scared of one as opposed to the other. They should rely on each other, and we should build our marketing paths to connect off-course to green grass and green grass to off-course, which is what we're doing at Great Life and with Golf Back in particular. How do we introduce the game at the comfort level of the person that is starting to pique their interest, right? And this may be much less of a friction point for someone to come in and try the game while they're working their way up to green grass. But I do both. I enjoy both. I've been playing golf since I was 10 years old, so 30 plus years now. And, it's an opportunity to continue to grow the game. And golf's a lifetime game. You can play for your entire life, but you got to keep your body moving, right? You got to keep your body moving year round. So if you're in those climates, especially where it's a little bit colder, the simulator opportunities keep your body moving, right? Keep your golf swing moving. But yeah, so we're going to give you the top 5 today.
John, we know you always keep your body moving, whether it's in the industry or on the dance floor. So hit us with the top 5. Are we going in reverse order here and building up to number 1, or we didn't think that far ahead?
We're going to go top 5 opportunities right now. I mean, there's a lot of great golf courses on the TrackMan. There's 300 plus courses. There's a lot of European courses. TrackMan's a European company that they're out of Denmark. So there's a lot of opportunities over there, which I think is fun and unique. But one of the really cool things about simulators in general is you can play those golf courses that you're seeing, on TV, majors being played on, some of those really cool opportunities, maybe some really excellent resorts that maybe you haven't played, like Pebble Beach. So I figured we'd go through 5 really cool golf courses that I'd recommend, I've played and enjoyed right now, and we'll just have a little fun with it. So we're going to start off with top 5 TrackMan golf courses right now. I'm going to go number 5, way better than I thought it was going to be, Marco Simone Golf and Country Club, where we had the Ryder Cup this year. Well, we didn't have it. The Europeans had it. We were there a little bit, the Americans. But played Marco Simone. Really fun. Much better on the TrackMan than I was expecting. It's not the most visually appealing golf course I've ever seen on TV, but when you played it on the TrackMan, there was a lot of nuances to the layout. I really enjoyed it. So number 5, Marco Simone's what I'm going with, Bryce.
Got it. Okay, number 4, I'm going to go with Pebble Beach. I have not played the actual Pebble Beach. John, I know you have. Having the ability to play it on the TrackMan was really cool. Obviously I've watched a lot of golf tournaments at Pebble Beach over the years. Pretty much know every hole in my head. So being able to play it on the TrackMan and getting a real feel for how each of those holes play. Those guys in the PGA Tour event at Pebble Beach shoot, 18, 20 under par, and that golf course is hard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I struggled a bit, and I know some of the other guys in our office here did as well. Harsh. So I really enjoyed it, and it just makes me want to get out there and play the real Pebble Beach, all that even more.
All right, number 3, this is cheating a little bit because this golf course is not available on the TrackMan yet, but it's coming. Royal Troon, which is where the British Open is going to be. And the reason I'm putting Royal Troon on there is because I have an affinity for Royal Troon. I've played it. I really enjoyed it, and made a birdie on the postage stamp, which I'm proud of. I'm sure I'll make a 10 when I play it on the TrackMan. But Royal Troon, we plan on having a golf event here for the Great Life folks, and we're going to jack that wind up to about 40 miles per hour and have a little fun. But Royal Troon, the idea that you can jump on, play a course that's in the British Open rotation, and do it while the British Open's on TV in the background, can't beat that. So I'm going to put Royal Troon at number 3, even though we haven't played it yet.
I think the European, if there's any Europeans listening to our podcast right now, they're probably pretty angry. I think it's called the Open Championship, John.
What did I call it?
The British Open.
Oh, sorry. The Open Championship. Been around a while.
Yeah. Number 2, going with a golf course that I've played both on the TrackMan and in real life, Casa de Campo, Dominican Republic. It's, a resort golf course, so public can play it. Fantastic golf course. There's probably more holes on the ocean there than I think I've played at any other place. There's got to be 7 or 8 holes alongside the ocean, which is, pretty incredible. Playing it on the TrackMan, I thought, that was a lot of fun as well. Very, very, I would say, accurate of what the actual golf course felt like as far as challenge. But yeah, just a really cool course, and I think it, just because it's in the Dominican Republic, maybe doesn't get the praise that it deserves, but I think it's absolutely at the level of the, Whistling Straits type experience.
Yeah, that golf course is so scenic from the pictures you see online, or if you've been there, obviously, and then same thing here whenever you're playing it. It's really a cool track. And who did you play that with, Bryce?
Played it with my dad and another buddy of ours in Albert Pujols.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Must have been a good day.
It was a good day. We had a lot of fun.
I think it was a Thursday. You were supposed to be working, but you flew down there and played that?
Probably was supposed to be working,
all right.
Yeah.
I thought so. All right, last golf course. The course we're going to rank number 1 today in May is going to be Valhalla Golf Club, which is right behind us, which is where the PGA Championship will be in 2 weeks. I've loved this golf course since the mid-90s when Mark Brooks and Kenny Perry was from Kentucky, doled it out for the PGA Championship. Fast forward to 99, you got Tiger Woods versus Bob May. I mean, this place has created great drama in majors. It's a great looking golf course, and on the TrackMan, man, it plays great. And they just launched it right behind us here. I'd say go play Valhalla tomorrow if you got access to a TrackMan. Great track. Really enjoyed it. I'm putting Valhalla #1 today, but this is obviously a moving target. But so on our list, we got 2 major golf courses. We got an iconic resort. We got a golf course with some of the best oceanfront property you'll ever see down in the Dominican Republic. And we got a Ryder Cup golf course. That's not a bad list, huh?
It's a great list. Valhalla had a couple of Ryder Cups as well.
You're right.
Anthony Kim's coming out party.
2008, I think J.B. Holmes was running around. He was a Kentucky kid running around winning match points in 2008. Yeah, great place. Can't wait to watch the PGA Valhalla.
Valhalla, very excited about the upcoming event. Do you guys know what Valhalla actually means, like in Norse mythology?
No clue.
It's like the battlefield where like the best warriors go when they die in battle.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, you never watched Vikings?
Yeah, you never watched Thor? Love and Thunder? Come on. All right. Well, Bryce, this is your time to shine. So you've been working diligently with, of course, Brent Miller and the Golfback team, and you're coming out with some fabulous new technology. I don't think it's too much to say that it's taken the industry by storm, but it's going to another level. What can you tell us about the GRO, the GRO platform, and how can it benefit not only the golf course owner, but what are some of the benefits that the customer gets out of it as well?
Yeah, so I think when we originally built Golfback, we certainly learned a few things. The results that the courses had from using it were very strong and very good. But we found that we built a lot of tools, and the adoption level just really wasn't great around those tools. And when Brent and I kind of put our ego to the side and went back and looked at it, we found that maybe the user experience was a little bit too difficult, a little bit too hard to navigate, or possibly understand. So really what we set out to do with GRO was we set out to build something where you could accomplish 95% of the things very quickly, very easily, and really and so that we could improve the adoption rate, which would then in turn would lead to better rounds and revenues for our golf course clients. So that's really what GRO is. We've also introduced some new features as well. I think one thing that it does a lot better than our original version, I'll say, is I think we're helping golf courses understand their customer to a lot deeper level, and to data points that really can drive revenues and increase productivity and efficiency. So I'm really excited we're rolling it out now. I'm really excited to get feedback on it and learn more from our customers that are using it.
Yeah, it's just an easy to use interface. GRO has helped evolve the Golfback platform. It's a revenue optimization tool. It's a data collection tool. It's an automated marketing tool. But really what it is it takes those responsibilities out of the head golf professional or the general manager or the director of golf, where they can really commit their time to making a great on-day experience, which is where their time should be used, right? So it's the logistical system that can support their operation. And we've just made it a lot easier to use, and very excited about where we are with GRO. Very excited about where we are with Golfback. I think 124 live booking engines by the end of this week, which is just a phenomenal number. We're starting to see other companies, some copycat companies out there building similar technologies, which means we're on the right path, right? So I think we're an industry leader when it comes to building this platform, and we're going to continue to invest in it. I mean, this is not going to stop. I see us continuing to invest in Golfback for years to come, and we want to make this tool just so functional and easy to use for everyone.
Something that may seem trivial, but I'm going to bring it up because I notice it when I go up to the courses to gather content, to meet people. Just the fact that more people are booking online, not tying up the phones, not tying up the staff's able to interact more with people, give them a better customer experience, help them with something different, drive out to a hole if something's wrong with the golf cart, call the maintenance crew. There's so many things and so many hats that everybody who's on staff and on site has to wear. So the more you can not tie up the phones with booking and make it easy for the customer, I would also argue the fact that that's vital to everyday operations and success.
Yeah, every 8 minutes something happens, right? Somebody's checking in. There's 4 new customers, hopefully all day long, on your tee sheet, and the job of the on-site team should be creating a great environment experience for those folks. And if they're logistically tied up with other functions, it's going to take away from that.
It is now time for Duff Said on the To The T podcast. This is our newest game today. It's called Hashtag Hijinks. Essentially, we've ripped off a word association game, but we're cool, young, hip, and relevant because we're using hashtags. So Bryce, John, I'm going to give you a name or a term from the golf industry or business, and I'm going to give it to you in the form of a hashtag, and you are going to give me one fluid thought, and you must answer in the form of a hashtag. One solid, fluid, flowing thought. There is no right or wrong. And it's just supposed to be fun. Don't take it too seriously. Don't think too hard. First thing that comes to mind. Bryce, hashtag Scotty Scheffler.
Hashtag Tiger Woods 2.0.
John, hashtag Patrick Cantlay.
Hashtag need a little bit more personality.
Bryce, hashtag Wyndham Clark.
Hashtag top 5 player in the world.
John, hashtag Colin Morikawa.
Hashtag best iron player on the planet.
Bryce, hashtag Max Homa.
God, I love Max. Hashtag great Twitter follow.
No, did not know that. More of an Instagram guy. John, hashtag Siwoo Kim.
Hashtag
What about somebody to throw a club? Siwoo.
All right. Hashtag girlfriend, pretty good golfer.
Bryce, hashtag Tony Finau.
Hashtag expect more from him.
John, hashtag Rory McIlroy.
Hashtag bombs drives, should have won a major the last 10 years.
Bryce, hashtag the Fitzpatrick brothers.
Hashtag Alex is good too. I don't know.
John, hashtag Tom Kite.
Hashtag
Not fun to watch.
big wrinkles around his eyes. Great wedge player.
All right, Bryce, hashtag Tiger.
Hashtag greatest player ever.
For 10 years.
All right, boys, well done. That was hashtag hijinks, a lot of fun. Now it's time for the lip out. The floor is yours. 30 seconds, sound off, golf related or not, go.
Well, I'm going to talk about professional golf. We've got the major season really coming right around the corner. It's going to come fast and furious. We got the PGA Championship at Valhalla. We got the U.S. Open at Pinehurst #2. And then we got the Open Championship at Royal Troon. This is the time of year I love. Looking forward to seeing all the best players in the world play in these venues. Super excited. Plan on putting some bets in that don't hit like normal. But great venues, great golf in front of us. And with the new major schedule, it's boom, boom, boom. And we got about 8 weeks of just, we're going on a tear. Let's see what Scotty can do in these majors.
I'm looking forward to, in my personal life, playing more golf over the next few months. The weather here in PA has, obviously wintertime is not ideal for golf. So looking forward to getting out there and playing some golf.
Maybe we'll shoot 71 and a better ball game.
Yeah, hey, we seem to be pretty consistent.
For the 10th time.
But when the weather is adverse, what can you do? Go to TrackMan.
That's right.
Gentlemen, thank you for your knowledge, for your time, for your wisdom. We greatly appreciate it. We are To The T, available on all platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and of course the video cast, always available on the Great Life Golf YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Like and subscribe. John, Bryce, thank you.
Thank you.